Request for cancellation of taxes meeting. It is September 11th, 2024. The time is 11:18 a.m. I'm calling this meeting to order. In attendance are Commissioners Brooks on the phone and Commissioner Duncan in person. Are there changes to the agenda? Hearing none, we have our Chief Deputy Assessor with us, and we have Kelly Wiest from the Treasurer's Office, and then we've got Terry Johnston from BOCC. We have no public attending today, so no need to swear in participants. And I'll call for public comment. Hearing none, we will get down to our first item, and this is a property removed, demolished, AIN 139823, Kuykendall?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll say yes.
All right.
We later went back and found that the improvements were demoed before the roll. We didn't know that going into the roll, so we want to cancel the value of those improvements moving forward.
Okay, and I think it was $100,000, somewhere around there.
Yeah, about 120.
Okay, which is just about homeowner's exemption. Same thing. So, Bill, do you have any questions?
I don't.
Okay, so I move that we approve the tax cancellation for AIN 139832.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, item 2, timber exemption adjustment, AIN 168406, Party of Wilson.
So, Commissioners, I do want to go into more detail on this particular item. Bill, there is a letter that we mailed this property owner. We'll make sure that you get a paper copy. But essentially what happened is this property owner put their land into a trust. When that happens, property owners need to notify the assessor's office that the landowner has actually stayed the same, which is the case. So the Wilsons created a trust and moved things into a trust, but the actual ownership didn't change, so their timber exemption should have remained, but we weren't alerted to that fact. So having seen the transfer, without an application for a timber exemption, we remove the timber exemption. When we do that, we do send them a letter notifying the property owner based on the mailing address that we have, hey, we're removing this timber exemption. We didn't hear anything from the property owner then. They did not appeal during the appeal time frame for their assessment notice, but after the fact, they called into us and said, hey, we typically have a timber exemption. It's a very valuable timber exemption on this particular property. However, because we're beyond this time of the year, it kind of comes to a board decision on whether or not you guys want to grant this exemption. Now, it's the same people, and they should have gotten it, or they would have gotten it had they applied, but it really kind of comes to your discretion at this point.
So, Bill, the letter to the party was dated July of 2023, and it told them that they needed to get in touch with the assessor's office by April 15th of 24. They did not do that, and it is about a $5 million value change or tax cancellation for that. So do you have any additional thoughts on that?
No, a question, what do they say in terms of the reason they didn't contact the assessor's office?
I don't think they gave a reason for not contacting the assessor's office.
I think that they saw their assessment and saw that it was much higher than it usually is, and that prompted them to reach out.
Yeah. So, Dave, I have a question for you.
Okay.
So this is a tax cancellation meeting. So typically we say if it was a mistake on the part of the county or there's a hardship, then we can cancel the taxes. This is a little bit different because we'll take care of the homeowners exemptions in this as well, because we don't do BOE from now until the fall. So is this a typical case where we just would make the timber exemption adjustment because it is the same owner, so they're entitled to it? Or do we need to do something different in this case?
Yeah, it's a little, it's a little unusual. The other reason that taxes can be canceled is for a good legal reason, where the tax never should have been assessed in the first place. And I, and I think that's really what's going on here is the tax should not have been assessed in the first place because of this trust situation. So I guess there's maybe two ways to do it. Cancel the tax or retroactively apply the exemption. I think the effect is the same.
Yeah.
Going forward, the exemption will apply. So to me, it's kind of a distinction without a difference. Normally, I would say it's appropriate to cancel the tax rather than retroactively apply an exemption. But here, the exemption never should have gone away in the first place. So I think that's what you're correcting if you want to do it that way.
Okay. Bill, are you okay with that?
That's fine with me.
All right, then I move that we cancel taxes to effectively honor the timber exemption for AIN 168406, Party of Wilson.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Chair Duncan,
Aye. All right, item 3, valuation adjustment, AIN 110853, Frontier.
So in this instance, our back end and our front end were talking very well. So our mapping department and our BIAs who handle a lot of the allocations need to be on the same page. And in this case, we had changed in our valuation software the correct allocations for operating property, but we hadn't set the effective date of the parcel in Amentum to basically honor that change. It was still forward dated. It needed to be effective dated for 1/1. So when we made the change to correctly classify this, it didn't actually take in the system. And it's the same thing that happened with the next 4. And we came across these while we were doing some auditing of our system.
Okay, so Bill, any questions?
No, I have no questions.
I move that we approve the valuation adjustment or cancellation of taxes for AIN 110853, Frontier.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Chair Duncan,
Aye. So we'll handle 4 through 6 together in its valuation adjustments for AIN 198817, 198248, 149079, Gem State Water.
Yes. It's the same thing.
Same thing. Okay. So, Bill, any questions?
No, no questions.
I move that we approve the valuation adjustment tax cancellation for AINs 198817, 198248, 149079, Gem State Water.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Chair Duncan,
Aye. All right, items 7 through 51 are homeowners exemptions. Bill, do you have any questions?
I don't.
All right, then I move that we approve items 7 through 51 for the homeowners exemption.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Chair Duncan,
Aye. All right, with that, I would call for public comment. Hearing none, 11:26, meeting adjourned. Thanks, Bill.